Morning everybody, it's Skill Up here with another Division video. This is my weekly Should I Buy It? A look at what are the vendors dropped this week, is it worth buying, and if you do buy it, how do you mod it? I do these videos every single week, so if you do like this sort of stuff, be sure to subscribe, drop a like on the video, and with that, let's get started. For completeness sake, I'm going to show you the vendor upstairs so that you know that there's absolutely nothing worth buying from him. There's a historian, just as there's always been. There's a pistol, which you're not going to want to use with expert and unforgiving. There's an MP5 ST, definitely one of the weaker submachine guns available. And it's got unforgiving, dominant, and accurate. And finally, we have a PX4 Storm Type F with expert and predatory. So nothing of note there. We'll head straight downstairs to the other vendors. On the first vendor in the terminal, we have a number of items. We've got the historian again, as I said, same as always, with a classic AK-74 with competent, sustained, and with dominant, not a worthy purchase. We actually have a fairly interesting 204 AUG Para, which is with adept, it's got vicious, and it's got deadly. Now, adept obviously is not ideal. You'd probably roll that one away. Vicious is not the best crit talent. We're very rarely at full health all the time, but 13.5% crit is a lot of crit on a weapon. So when we are at full health, it's very, very helpful, and it synergizes very well with its third talent, which is critical hit damage with deadly. So you know what, it's not terrible. I would actually think about this one if you were looking at gearing up, if you've got some spare Phoenix credits lying around and you didn't already have something better in an SMG slot. It'd be really, really good as an Alpha Bridge kind of item, you know, if you're looking at building an SMG Alpha Bridge set. But yeah, there it is, not too bad. And finally, we have an M249 Bravo with, it's got Ferocious, Determined, and Swift, not a worthy purchase at all. And then you've got the same smattering of stuff that you typically have on this vendor. The other vendor in the terminal is selling two kind of interesting things. The first one is a Flash Hider Blueprint. It's the level 32 weapon mod. It does roll with base accuracy, right? So that's not too bad. It's a good starting point because you'll often want accuracy on your muzzle. And the other thing that he's dropping is the Firearms Mod Blueprint, the level 32 version. So if you haven't picked that one up yet, you can get that one now. Downstairs in the underground, fresh for our PS4 friends, we have not a good selection at all this week. We have a PP19 as the level 229 item, rank 40 requirement. It's got Swift, which is completely wasted on a weapon that has like 1% reload speed due to the hurried talent. It's got Capable, which you really do not need given that this weapon is already extremely stable. And it's got Hurried, which, as I mentioned, increase your critical hit, your reload time. So, or decrease, I should say. So look, terrible weapon. Do not pick this one up, not good at all. The G36 sadly is not much better. Intense, first bullet of a magazine has a 13% chance to apply the on fire status effect. 13% is a really small chance considering it's on the first bullet only. It's a very, very undertuned talent. Swift, we've mentioned, is really not a great talent. It only shaves a few milliseconds off your reload time, so it's not good. And Focused, we've also spoken about in the past, not ideal. You generally want to roll that away because you'd rather be using your abilities than not. Next up, we have a Paratrooper SVD with Steady. Steady removes weapon sway. Sway is this like completely like indistinguishable movement of your weapon when you are not firing it. It's totally, you know, you don't even notice it. It's an awful talent for that reason. We've got Unforgiving, missing health segments mean you do more damage, and Decisive, where your next shot after you kill something will be a guaranteed crit. So look, sadly, not a good weapon even for an Alpha Bridge build. Finally, we have a first wave X45 with Expert and Intense on it. We've already spoken about how Intense is not a particularly great talent, so yeah, give that one a miss. So, sadly, the vendors at the base of operations have nothing of use to us. Let's go check out what's in the Darkzone. At the DZ3 vendor this week, we have a number of options. We've got the military L86 LSW, meticulous, unforgiving, and restored, not worth purchasing. An MP5 ST with accurate, determined, and destructive, also not worth purchasing. We've got an M249 Bravo with restored, vicious, and unforgiving, also not worth purchasing. What we do have, though, that's really, really good is this black market AK-74 with brutal, predatory, and deadly. So, why would you care about this? It's a 204, right? Well, yeah, sure it is, but like for instance, if we look at like my military L86, which is a 229, it's got 9,000 base damage as compared to this one, which is 11k. They're very similar stats in terms of RPM and mag. You know, the difference, of course, is the, you know, this is an assault rifle. It gets enemy armor damage, whereas this one gets damage to targets out of cover, which is absolutely a better trait to have. But the talents on it are really excellent. It's got brutal, it's got predatory, it's got deadly. Like, it's a really great roll. And I would actually really carefully look at what weapon you are using, check its damage roll against this one, because it is possible that a 229 weapon can have less base damage than a 204, and this damage roll is really high on this one. So I'd actually really recommend checking it out. It is a decent weapon with a almost perfect set of talents. So I'd have a look at it if I were you. Next up, we have the Military Scar H, which is an awful class of marksman rifle. Do not purchase this one at all, especially when it costs you 258,000 Darkzone funds. This week, the DZ4 vendor is selling two mods. She's got the Firearms Gear Mod Blueprint, the level 32 version, and the Stamina Gear Mod Blueprint, level 32, so you can pick those up if you like. And there's also a Prototype Performance Mod, level 31, Signature Resource Gain, and Smart Cover Damage Resilience. And finally, at the DZ5 vendor, it is a very disappointing haul. We have accuracy and initial bullet stability flash hider. We do not want to be modding for initial bullet stability in the vast majority of circumstances, so not a great choice. We've got a quick release magazine with reload speed and mag size. Again, we don't want to be modding for reload speed, so not a good choice there. And in terms of blueprints, he's got a CQB SS scope, which is headshot damage and random bonus. A good option if you haven't picked that up already. We've got an Osprey 45 with reduced threat. Threat not a functional mechanic right now, so don't be modding for threat. And then we always have the PEQ 15 and the rugged mini reflex sight. The 15s with hip fire accuracy, and the reflex sight is with accuracy base roll. And that's it, guys. Those are the vendor reset options for the week. As I said, the AK-74, not a bad option. Do check it out if you haven't already. It could be better than what you're using now. You just might not know it. And everything else, though, not particularly exciting. But let's cross our fingers for next week. Hopefully it gets a bit better. It's obviously been a very dry run with these should I buy it videos for the last little while. But I'm going to keep doing them because I do have faith that one day something good will drop or Massive will change the system to make it more enticing for us. At which point, things are going to be a little bit more exciting. But anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. If you found the video useful, do drop it a like. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Take good care all, and I will see you in the Dark Zone. Bye-bye.